Hello everybody, it is October 19th, 2012, Friday, 9:27 a.m. And yeah, this is like the third day I've had my hair in braids, so it's like really fuzzy on top, you know. They're gonna come out, I think probably tonight or tomorrow morning. You know, I comb it all out and it's gonna be all wavy and weird and wacky and all that good shit. So, let me scoot over. Yeah, I'm kind of hiding some of my house because my house is a mess. Having a broken foot just does not bode well with housework. So a lot of it's been left to the wayside and whatnot. So anyway, I do have to do some kind of cleaning today. I'm going to be having company over this weekend. I don't know exactly when, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. It's going to be great. Because these are people, well, one person, now two. Long story. But it's one of the people that I've wanted to meet for quite some time. And they're pretty damn inspirational. So they know who they are. I'm not gonna, like, you know, shout out their name or anything, because, you know, I'm not like that. Unless somebody specifically asks for me to tag them in the video, I don't do it. So there you go. Now let's see. Not much going on. My son is supposed to have his field trip paperwork turned in today, so hopefully Chucky Butt is taking care of that. I think he went over to his former employers to do some kind of side project thingy. I don't know. Anyway, foot's not really too bad. It only starts hurting towards the end of the day, after a long day of like hobbling around. I still try to get out and take a walk at least once a day. Not exactly sure if that's the smartest thing to do, but it keeps me from getting stir crazy in here, because I think for the first couple of days I was felt like I was stuck at home until we went to the orthopedic doctor, and she said, "Oh, you can use just one crutch now. I'm going to put you in a boot, and you know, this is how you walk with the crutches." It showed me how and everything. Basically, the crutch takes most of the weight off of my left foot, and I'm able to walk on it. It's really hard. It's really hard to explain. When you see me walk, it's kind of comical, because it's the whole pimp limp. You know, and then when I'm standing and I'm kind of resting for a minute, it's kind of a little bit of the gangsta lean. I don't know. It's just I feel like I'm Tiny fucking Tim. It's great. But hopefully in about like maybe a month or so, maybe less, I won't need to wear the boot that much anymore, and I can just get away with wearing like maybe an ace bandage or something. I do need to get better shoes, so that's on the list. Either that or I need to find my other sneaker. Where the hell it went? I think it ran off into the garage and decided to seek refuge in there. What else? I can't think of anything. Not a whole lot. I mean, a lot of really great, awesome, kick-ass shit's been going on, but I don't feel like putting that, you know, out there on the interwebs, only because it involves a very special person. They know who they are. And not quite ready to share that with the world. I share it with my close friends and stuff. But as far as the internet, I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, I just can't do it. What else? My dad's still in the nursing home. They're saying that he's fine and all, but his health is going south, I can tell. I do not have guardianship of them anymore. The state of Ohio took that. So I really don't have any rights, even though I'm next of kin. And yeah, let me explain something about next of kin. and guardianship and custody and all that shit. Because it pertains to not only adults that are unable to make decisions for themselves anymore, that are incapacitated or whatever. It also pertains to minors, kids that are below the age of at least 18. Some states it's 19. I know in Nebraska when I was there it was 19, and it was a drag, because when I turned 18 I realized, oh shit, I still can't do what I want. I'm still not an adult. I have to wait a whole nother freaking year. This blows. But anyway, basically, when you're next of kin, okay, if there's no other paperwork, there's no power of attorney, there's no guardianship, there's no none of that. If you're next of kin, automatically you are legally obligated. You have certain rights to ensure the care of your loved ones, be it your children or your elderly parents or what have you, your spouse or whatever. If you're next of kin, you're the first person they call and say, hey, such and such happened to so-and-so, you're on their emergency contact, are you also their next of kin? You are. Great, I need to speak with you about some things. And then they can divulge any and all information about the person. It's one of the HIPAA thingies, I think. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm next of kin, so there's that. I was supposed to be made power of attorney. That never happened. I don't know. It was freaking frustrating. He kept saying that he filled out the paperwork and then he never did. Or he showed us an old copy of something. I don't know. It got passed around and switched hands and names got changed, and it's just a big mess. He's already paid for all of his funeral arrangements. He's had that paid off for I want to say maybe 10 years now or so, maybe more, which I know sounds incredibly morbid, but he's 88 years old, so I mean he's been preparing. He's been preparing since my mother died, actually, which sounds really sad, but I always try to be a realist, and my dad was being very realistic, and I think that, as much as that sounds really depressing and shit, I don't blame my father for wanting to have everything in order, he didn't want to leave me with any loose ends, and I love my dad to pieces, and I think that, when it comes down to certain things, he's extremely level-headed, extremely intelligent. He taught himself how to read. I mean, can you believe that? My former high school, which I will not name because I don't want to get sued, but they tried to tell me that my father was retarded. And I was like, really? Y'all really think he's retarded? They're like, well, he's kind of slow. I'm like, he's old. He's slow in movement, slow in speech, but his brain runs like freaking, like it's on Nas, for fuck's sake, I couldn't quite get it. I was like, if he's retarded, then are you trying to say that I'm retarded? I mean, what constitutes retardation? What is the actual definition of it? And I looked it up in the dictionary, and I was like, my father does not fit this definition, so you guys are going to have to find another word. And they're like, oh, well, he's this, and he used to be an alcoholic. And I'm like, okay, I've met a lot of former recovering alcoholics and a lot of former recovering drug addicts, and they're not stupid. They just made a stupid choice, and it affected their life for a very long time, and then they managed to crawl themselves out of that pit. And for that, they get major props. That doesn't make them stupid. It just means they hit a really rough patch in their life. They tried to self-medicate, and it didn't work, and luckily they pulled themselves out of it before they hit the rock bottom on their fucking faces. That takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of strength to do that. So I told him, I said, look, my dad taught himself how to read, okay? English is like one of the most bastardized, craziest fucking languages in the world, and my father taught himself how to read and write. That doesn't make him retarded, that makes him stubborn and determined. Qualities that I think I'll have someday, I hope. So, yeah, if you guys call that shit retarded, then I hope that I am the stupidest motherfucker to ever walk the face of this earth and say props to my daddy because he taught me how to be retarded. I mean, really, come on now. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so, next of kin, get automatic rights. Unless there's a POA involved. Then the POA pretty much has rights before you do, but you still have the right to know what's going on, and you still have some rights as far as last wishes and funeral arrangements and shit like that. Okay? Alright. Now, guardianship and custody, okay? Those two terms get kind of, put together and mangled and bashed up, and it's fucking stupid. Okay, basically, if you have custody of somebody, that means that the other person that has custody, because usually it's two people. Usually custody arrangements have to do with two parents and a child, or two parents and children, or whatever. It has to do with, like, younger people. It doesn't always have anything to do with adults, per se. But usually with custody is they let you know what's going on. They keep you posted. They don't really have to, but they do, because you still have that connection to them. Guardianship is the legal term of saying, hey, I'm in charge of this person, so any kind of medical fees, updates on their health, updates on their behavior, like if it's a guardianship over a minor child and they're in an institution, shit like that. If you are the guardian of a young child or an adult, you are in charge of making sure that they get their care, they get their medicine, they get their education, housing, clothing, etc. You name it, it's on you. It comes straight out of your pocket. Custody, it doesn't have to come out of your pocket. You're basically just kind of, it's a fancy term of you're still in their lives, but whoever has guardianship, they're going to do what they want, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And my father got tricked into guardianship when he signed the Interstate Compact, and I also signed it. And they told him, oh yeah, you'll still have custody of your daughter, no problem. Now, my dad, he didn't know that custody and guardianship were two totally different freaking things. And so he thought custody, oh, that means I can still decide what goes on in my daughter's life. Okay, fine, I'll sign. And I didn't know what it meant because I was 12 years old. At 12 years old, you don't sit there and analyze the law and go, wait a minute, I think there's some kind of weird loophole that they're trying to pull here. I smell bullshit. No, you just go, oh, custody, that means my dad, my daddy's still in charge of what happens to me, because custody, you think, means, you're still their responsibility. So, okay, I signed it. My dad signed it. And I get sent out west to a certain boarding school place that I will not name. And, yeah, part 2 coming up.